Magandang araw po sa lahat ng aspiring future criminologist po natin, and welcome to our criminology online tutorial. In this lecture series, special topics will be discussed in the different areas of the criminologist licensure examination. Of course, it will be discussed by yours truly, your mentor in this tutorial, Dr. John C. Villarreal. Shout out kay Sir Rene Hapitana, the dynamic principal of the junior high school of St. Michael College of Caraga. Shout out sa idol kong classmate sa doctoral, Dr. Leo Carlo Rondina. Maraming salamat po. Shout out rin kay classmate Dr. Rex Aparicio. Shout out kay Ma'am Ranet Olvis, kay Ma'am Rima Sandigan. Shout out sa lahat ng 4th year criminology students ng St. Jude Taddeus Institute of Technology. Kay Danny Piapi, also from SGTIT. Shout out rin sa mga criminology students ko sa St. Michael College of Caraga, especially the 3rd year criminology students under my question document examination subject. This video is primarily made for you, my dear students. Okay? In this video, we will discuss standards and alterations. So we will discuss the different kind of standards and the different kinds of alterations. Okay? And also we will discuss topics regarding the different methods of collecting standards. Okay? But before that, let us answer first several questions connecting our topic to our previous lessons. Okay? So let us start. We have here number 1, the combination of these handwriting characteristics became the basis of identifying a set of handwritings and trace them to their owners. Choices po natin: individual and class, private and public, physical and mental, technical and material. Okay? Answer? So basic lang po tayo. The answer for this question is we have the individual and class characteristics. Okay, remember my dear students and reviewees that in question document examination, there are only 2 characteristics that we need to remember. We have here the class and the individual characteristics. Okay? Private and public, physical and mental, technical and material are not included in the examination of the characteristics of handwriting. It should be the class characteristics or these characteristics that are common to a certain class or group of handwritings. Like for example, the handwriting style, if the style is cursive, if the style is script, or if the style is block style. Okay? Or individual characteristics, these characteristics are those features or characteristics that are unique from one handwriting to the other handwriting. Okay? Take note of that. Next question, we have here what is the first phase of scientific handwriting examination? Is it comparison, evaluation, analysis, or conclusion? Okay, our answer for this is we have analysis. Okay, take note that the sequence of scientific handwriting examination started with analysis. Okay, take note of the acronym ACE-V, or A stands for analysis. Okay, then we have here the second phase. We have C stands for comparison, and E stands for the evaluation. Okay? And then conclusion is part of the last or the third phase of handwriting examination, because when the examiner evaluates the compared handwritings, of course, that is the time that he will interpret, he will formulate his conclusion, his finding, okay? That is during the time of evaluation. And the so-called V, remember, that is for verification, okay? That is ACE V methodology. Again, A stands for analysis, C stands for comparison, E stands for um, evaluation. Okay? Analysis, recognition of handwriting characteristics. Okay? C stands for comparison of the recognized handwriting characteristics. Then evaluation stands for or means it is the result. Okay, the result of the comparison. This is the time that the question document examiner will make a conclusion as to whether or not a certain handwritings were written by the same or different person. That is for analysis. Okay? Number 3, no handwriting is susceptible of identification if it is not identified, if the individualities of that handwriting remain unrecognized. Is it false? Is it true? Is it sometimes false? Or is it sometimes true? Answer po natin. We have this statement is true. Okay? Ang isa pong handwriting is we cannot, okay, identify if we did not recognize the unique features of that particular handwriting, because the individualities or the significant writing habits or the individual characteristics, these characteristics make a certain handwriting susceptible to be identified. Okay? So also we cannot compare handwritings if we do not recognize the individualities, the unique features, okay, the individual characteristics. Okay, let's move on to the next. Number 4, this technique of examination of question document focuses on reflectivity and fluorescence. Okay, is it transmitted light examination? Is it oblique light examination? Or is it microscopic examination? Or delta, ultraviolet examination? Answer po natin is, this is ultraviolet examination. Ano po ba yung transmitted light examination? Ano po ba ang oblique light examination? Okay? Ano po ba ang microscopic examination? Okay? Transmitted light examination is, it can be used to detect the presence of erasures, matching serrations, and also other alterations. Okay? Transmitted light examination is done by applying an illumination or light behind the document. Okay? And then the light passes through the paper, thereby showing several erasures, if there are, including serrations and other alterations. That is transmitted light examination. Okay? Oblique light examination is done by, of course, looking at the document obliquely. This way of examination will trace, of course, will detect the tracing outline. Of course, when we trace during, if the document is forged using tracing or by tracing, of course, it will be detected through oblique light examination. Also, embossed impressions can be detected through oblique light examination. Next, we have the microscopic examination. This microscopic examination, or by the use of a stereoscopic microscope using a low and a high power objectives of the microscope, will detect patching or retouching and other unnatural pin lefts. Okay, so this microscopic examination will detect strokes, characteristics in the handwriting that are not visible to our naked eye. So there are strokes, there are patchings, there are pin lefts that can be made visible through microscopic examination or examination. Next, number 5. This consists of writings executed daily in the course of business, profession, social, and personal affairs and known to be genuine. Is it procured standard? Is it requested? Is it typewriting? Is it dictated standard? Okay? The answer, keyword po natin is we have writings executed daily in the course of business, profession, social. So, yung pinaka-keywords po natin dito are writings executed daily. Okay? This is procured standard. Okay? Take note, the other term for procured standard is this is collected standard. Okay? Requested standard is also known as the dictated standard. Okay? Typewriting, or it could be typewriting or a computer printout standards. Okay? So itong dictated is the same with requested standard. So these requested standards are only utilized if there is no available collected or procured standard. Okay, so if also if the collected or procured standard are not sufficient, okay, then that's the time that the question document examiner will of course request a certain person to give his handwriting. Okay. Number 6, what general principle applies to the number of comparison standards that an examiner should be able to obtain? Alpha, better late than never. Bravo, more is better than less. Charlie, quality over quantity. Or is it complete identity means forgery? Okay? Answer? Isip-isip po tayo. Okay, answer for this question is this is more is better than less. Okay, so take note that in the collection of standards, whether it is a collected standard or a requested standard, the more the better. Okay, so because if you have more number of standards available, you can have several, of course, standards or bases in the comparison of um, documents. Okay? That standard document that you have collected will be compared to the questioned document, okay, submitted for examination. So you cannot conduct an examination if you don't have sufficient number of standards. And take note, the general principle is more is better than less. Okay? Number 7, the PNP Crime Laboratory Office recommends at least 8 standards for signatures and at least blank pages of writing. Take note, this question is about the PNP Crime Laboratory Office, the recommendation about the number of standards for handwriting. Okay? So, ano po yung sagot natin? Is it 5, 6, 7, or 8? Isip-isip po tayo. Answer po natin is we have 5. Okay? Tandaan po natin, it is a recommendation coming from the PNP Crime Laboratory Office to have, if the question specimen is signature, so we need to have 8 standards for us to compare that signature in question. And if it is handwriting, okay, the PNP Crime Laboratory Office recommends that at least there shall be 5 pages of handwriting standards. Okay? Number 8, when shall standards be considered best? Okay? Ano po ba ang mga kailangan or basihan, basis, for us to consider that the collected or requested standards are considered best? Okay? Choices po natin, we have contemporaneous in date, we have same general class as to the question writing, Charlie, proven to be authentic, and Delta, all of the above. Okay, what is our answer? Take note, my dear future criminologists, do not be afraid that you will give the wrong answer, because giving the wrong answer is usually the first step of learning. Okay? Paano po natin malalaman na nag-improve tayo if hindi natin na-experience na nagkamali po tayo? Okay? Because every mistake that we commit, of course, in order for us to grow, we need to correct those mistakes. Okay? Going back to our question number 8, answer po natin dito is we have all of the above. Take note, the gauge in the collection of the standards. Okay? Kailangan po una is dapat contemporaneous in date. So what is that contemporaneous in date? If possible, dapat halos magkasabay po. Okay? Halos magkasabay po na reproduce yung question document and the standard that you are going to collect. So for example, the question document was reproduced or was made in the year 2010. So if possible, years, okay? Years na malapit po sa 2010, yan po ang advisable na dapat nating kunin as standard. So meaning those documents made by the person, okay, alleged to have written the question document, those documents written within 5 years, before or after 2010, yun po ang considered natin na best standard. So if meron pong document that was reproduced in the same year, for example 2010, and there is also a standard that was meaning the question document was reproduced or made in the year 2010, and it was found out that there is also another document made by the person or suspect in the same year, yan po ang best standard. Okay? If our basis is the date of the execution of the document. Okay? Next, same general class as to the question writing. This is important because Ano po ba ang ibig sabihin ng general class? General class, same general class. Meaning, if the question specimen or handwriting, the style of that writing is cursive, so dapat po yung hanapin po natin na standard is also cursive. Okay? If the question specimen or document is made through script writing style, so dapat po ang hanapin po natin is script writing style because we cannot compare cursive handwriting to another style of handwriting such as block style or script handwriting. So, for us to compare, kailangan po if the standard or kailangan po if the question document is cursive, dapat po yung kunin po natin o hanapin po natin na handwriting is cursive. Okay? Next is Charlie. The document must be proven to be authentic. Kailangan po that the standard, kaya nga tinatawag nating standard because it is presumed generally that it is proven to be genuine. Okay? How can we prove that such document is authentic or genuine? Okay? First, pwede po nating mag-conduct ng interrogation as to the writer. Okay? About his ownership of this handwriting. Okay? Or pwede rin tayong mag-conduct ng interview as to the testimony of witnesses or testimony of persons who witnessed the person executing that document. Okay? Or other circumstantial evidence that will prove that such person has executed the document. Okay? So, tandaan po natin, dapat contemporaneous in date. Hindi po malayo yung years of execution ng document. Second, dapat po of same general class. Pag sinasabi natin cursive yung question document, dapat yung standard na document na kukunin natin is also written in cursive. And dapat po, kaya nga sinasabi natin na standard kasi it is proven to be authentic. Okay? Next slide. Number 9, the best type of standards or samples are those made by the witness, police officer, suspect, victim. Easy-peasy po tayo. Choose the right answer. And don't be afraid to give the wrong answer because giving wrong answer means you need to correct that mistake next time that you will encounter the same question. Yes! Going back to number 9, the best type of standard samples are those made by this is, of course, it should be made by the suspect. Yes! Okay? Hindi naman po yung standard dapat written by witness. Okay? Written by police officer, written by the victim. Okay? So, if there is that person alleged to have executed or made such document, then the sample, the standard na kailangan po natin kunin are those samples or standards made by that person. Okay? Number 10. It is the objective of the periodic interruption of dictations when obtaining requested standards. Okay? Disrupt the writer, destroy the concentration, break the momentum, preserve the ink. Okay? Take note, do not forget na dictated or sinasabi natin na requested standard. The same lang po yun. Okay? If in cases or in an instance that you will encounter questions wherein the choices include dictated standard, requested standard, the same lang po ang dictated and requested standard. Now, in getting the requested standards through dictating the contents of the document, okay, there should be, as a general rule, there should be periodic interruption. Kailangan mo i-interrupt yung writer. Okay? During the time that he writes the letters, the words, the sentences that you have dictated. Okay? What is the main objective of that periodic interruption? The answer for that is we have break the momentum. Yes! Take note, alpha is not correct because if the ultimate purpose of periodic interruption is to disrupt the writer, okay? Initially, of course, when you interrupt the writer, you are disrupting the writer. Okay? But that is not your main purpose. Okay? Destroy the concentration. Pwede. Diba? Pwede that in order for you to disrupt the concentration of the writer, you must interrupt such writer. But the proper and best answer, correct answer for this question is break the momentum. What is that momentum all about? That momentum is the momentum or the habit that may start, okay, that is starting to form, okay, when the writer writes the word, okay, you try to break that momentum that if assuming the writer is the suspect or the guilty one, the person who made the question document, breaking that momentum means you need to interrupt the habit of or the chance that such suspect may change his pattern, may change his writing habit, or that suspect may recall how he executed the document. That is breaking the momentum of the suspect or the subject. Okay? Letter D is very wrong. Okay? You are not interrupting the subject just to preserve the ink. Okay? Number 11. As much as possible, the subject should be made comfortable when writing. This will prevent him from, choices po natin, escaping from the custody of the examiner and the police, getting too exhausted from the lengthy writing exercise, distorting his writings, thereby unwittingly hiding his individual writing characteristics, making any alibi of discomfort when his distorted writing is discovered. So, what is the ultimate aim or purpose? Bakit kailangan po natin na ang subject dapat comfortable when writing? Okay? Analyze. Okay, answer po natin for this number 11. The answer is delta. Okay? Para po maiwasan ang subject to make any alibi of discomfort when his distorted writing is discovered. Because there is a chance that the guilty subject will try to disguise, will try to change, will try to distort his handwriting. Okay? Next, number 12. In documents examination, it refers to the forger having trouble matching the paper, the ink, or writing instrument to the exact date it was supposed to have written. Okay? What is our answer? Is it anachronism, paleography, ink coagulation, or is it time distortion? Isip-isip. Okay, answer for this question is anachronism. Yeah! Example of anachronism. Okay? For example, a land title. Okay? A land title. Meron po tayong titulo ng lupa. Okay? For example, it was released. Okay? It was released in the year 1970. Okay? So, if anachronism exists, Okay? The question document examiner may discover that the paper used in the reproduction of such title did not exist in the year 1970. Okay? Instead, the question document examiner found out that the paper use of that land title said to be released in the year 1970 was manufactured in the year 1990. So there is that 20 years gap. So the question now is, how come that such land title was released where in fact the paper, that style of paper used in the reproduction of such land title was manufactured first in the year 1995 or 1990. Okay? That is anachronism. Or the ink use or the writing instrument. So that is anachronism. Paleography is the study of ancient, okay, ancient handwriting. Paleography was derived from the word palois, okay, which means ancient. Okay, ink coagulation and time distortion have no bearing about the question number 12. Number 13, blotting out or smearing over writing to make the original invisible. Is it obliteration, restoration, interlineation, or is it addition? Take note, we are now on the topic about alterations. Okay? Alterations. Keywords po natin, we have here blotting out, smearing over writing, and this is the most important, making the original invisible. Okay? What is our answer? Our answer for this question is we have obliteration. Take note of the word obliteration. In some instances, meron pong mga tanong na lumalabas, na kumakalat, okay, that ito po yung ginagamit nila, blotting out or smearing over the writing to make the original. Tinatanggal po nila yung in. Ang ginawa po nila is to make the original visible. Okay? Pag yan po ang ginagamit na tanong, if you will encounter this one, it is not obliteration. Okay? It could be restoration is the answer. Okay? Blotting out or smearing over writing to make the original visible, meaning you are restoring what has been, okay, made invisible. Okay? You want to make the original visible again. You want to make the contents of the original to be visible. That is restoration. Okay? So, for example, a document was obliterated, there are erasures, there are alterations, then you want to enhance, you want to check, you want to discover what's written originally or what's originally written in that particular document, that is restoration. Meaning you are trying to restore the original writings in that particular document. You want to discover the original handwritings of that particular document. That is restoration. Interlineation is a form of alteration wherein the suspect or the person tries to insert additional, okay, lines or sentences in a particular document. Take note, the other term for interlineation is tinatawag po natin itong intercalation. Okay? Intercalation. Intercalation. Okay? Other term for interlineation is intercalation. Okay? Addition is a general term which means or which may mean also as interlineation, or because when you add something, it could be by word, by sentence, by pages. Okay, those are forms of adding contents of a particular document. Okay, number 14. If changes are made after the execution of document and without the consent of the other party, then such change is called as, is it alteration, fraudulent alteration, Charlie, interlineation, or D, all of the above? Answer? Isip-isip po tayo. Okay, our answer for this is fraudulent alteration. Okay, the best answer for this question is this one, fraudulent alteration. Okay? Because pwede naman po magawa ang alteration if both parties consented to change, to alter a particular content of a document. But when alteration occurred or happened without the consent of the other party, because when you execute a particular document, there is usually, or there are usually two parties involved. Okay? After of the execution of such document, when one party doesn't know that the other party changes or modify or alter the content of the alteration, then it is called as fraudulent alteration. Okay? Number 15, a method of alteration done by overwriting or overlapping. Choices po natin, we have superimposition, cancellation, addition, or intercalation. Okay? Answer? Number 15, the answer is, we have superimposition. Okay? It is not cancellation, because when you cancel, you are removing some parts of the document, the contents of the document, or you are cutting some parts of the document. When you add, of course, there are some changes, but the contents are, of course, there are added contents to the document. Okay? Superimposition is overwriting or overlapping. Okay? Parang you are trying to write, no, above the original content of the handwriting document. Okay? That's it for number 15. Number 16, the PNP-CLO or the Philippine National Crime Laboratory Office recommends at least blank standards for signatures. Parang review lang natin to sa question kanina. Okay? If you can still remember, parang mga 10 minutes lang po yata yung nakalipas. So, take note. Meron po tayong requirement. If the question specimen is signature, meron pong number na required or recommended by the PNP-CLO. If the question specimen is a form of handwriting, meron din pong number of pages na required. Okay? If that is signature, the Philippine National Police Crime Laboratory Office recommends at least, for those who can still recall or remember what is our answer for this is 8. Pag handwriting po, dapat recommended ng PNP-CLO is 5 pages of handwriting. That is for collection of standards. Last number, number 17. An individual can copy his previous writings exactly in all aspects. This statement is blank. Okay, is it true? Is it false? Charlie, Delta, maybe false or maybe true. Okay, this is actually a very basic question about the principle of handwriting. Okay, take note of that principle. No person writes exactly alike. Okay? So the answer for this is false. No person can copy his previous handwritings or writings exactly in all aspects because according to one of the principle in handwriting identification is complete identity means forgery. If it is exactly the same in all aspects, then there is complete identity. And complete identity meaning there is a definite, 100% forgery. Okay? I hope that you have learned about our 17 pointers in standards and alteration topics in question documents. If you have questions, if you have clarifications about this video, do not hesitate to message me or do not hesitate to put your comments below this video. Okay? Thank you.